So the album went from being projected to sell 53K, and all of a sudden, it was then reported that the album is more likely going to be selling 90K. And a lot of people are saying bots. Now, again, I know Savage is my friend. I'm not here to defend him. And I'm a numbers guy, so I like to call a spade a spade. This is what I do know. There's a couple things that's just facts. Number one, there was increased activity because I seen the charts just like anybody who actually monitors the API of, whether it's Spotify, whatever. The song with Drake started doing better. And I'm not going to say it's bots because I think people were starting to play it a little bit more. It's the song that's sticking out from the album. Also, it's Drake. I get it. That's not why it jumped to 53K, though.
You are the one.
No, actually, is it going to be delayed? I don't think so. So some people feel like 21 Savage's label pulled some fast one. I have no data to support that. His sales did go up dramatically. He was predicted to do 53, 54, and then it went to 90. And from what I could tell, it's not bots. So let me. So, and let me try to explain this. Actually, let me just go to Chefademiks. Y'all gotta go check out Chefademiks on Twitter and Instagram. So, essentially, a couple days ago, it was reported that 21 Savage, What Happened to the Streets, was on pace to sell around 53K first week. Now, this was before the Fuck the Streets thing and this and third. Also, people were tracking all of these songs that were set to chart. And, or they were charting at the moment on Spotify daily, charts and Apple Music daily charts. So the album went from being projected to sell 53K, and all of a sudden, it was then reported that the album is more likely going to be selling 90K. And a lot of people are saying bots. Now, again, I know Savage is my friend. I'm not here to defend him. And I'm a numbers guy, so I like to call a spade a spade. This is what I do know. There's a couple things that's just facts. Number one, there was increased activity because I seen the charts just like anybody who actually monitors the API of, whether it's Spotify, whatever. The song with Drake started doing better. And I'm not going to say it's bots because I think people were starting to play it a little bit more. It's the song that's sticking out from the album. Also, it's Drake. I get it. That's not why it jumped to 53K, though. Oh, no, 90K, though. It jumped to 90K because of actual sales. Now, I'm not here also to say, no, all these are legit. I don't know, right? Again, I'm the person who says the labels bought everything, right? The Kendrick fans are like, no, Kendrick doesn't buy bots, right? Not him himself, but there's bots included. And if you told me that there was some of Drake's stuff that ever got botted, I'd be like, yeah, is there a label working it? Maybe, motherfucker, what the fuck? I'm not defending these people like there's purists. No, I'm just saying things happen. So with situations like that, with this, I use one test. Does it make sense to me in how I normally see trends? If you're seeing a trend go like this, that's an increase, right? But imagine if it's going like this and it goes like, boop, boop. That's a bot. That's how I look at things. So for me, streaming activity on the album, even though it was supposed to tail off, it actually started to stabilize. And it starts to stabilize because the Drake song picked up. So that's not, to me, odd. I don't think that's bots. The 53 to 90K, though, looks like it came about because of sales. And there's some supposed, maybe there was some self-reported sales, which could be from a website. And artists are allowed to have their own websites or like whatever, their own digital stores. Could that be manipulated? That's usually where it's manipulated. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Travis Scott and everybody like that. You know what I mean? But that's where that's kind of coming from. Like the increase in sales seems to be from raw sales, and we'll see tomorrow if they get certified. But it seems to be from raw sales, which is not bots. That's just the usual, either fans really bought it, right? And remember, it wasn't reported until this last number, because again, the thing with sales through the week when you're buying from a website, like, it's very iffy too. They did this they disqualified mad sales from Cardi. Cardi was supposed to sell 500,000. Y'all know this, right? Cardi was supposed to sell 500,000. Or supposedly 450,000. And Billboard discounted like 100,000 sales. Is what it is. So we'll see if the 90 holds. If not, it'll be closer to 60. But from what we're hearing, there's reportedly between 25 and 40K of activity, but it's activity in actual purchases. So not bots, but actual purchases. And that's why we've seen the sales jump. So just to give you some insight, because I've seen a lot of people tweeting about it today, like, yo, Savage bought the bots. He must have got the plug from Jeffrey. Because remember when Young Thug said he paid to get that album #1? Yeah. So yeah. And then so it was supposed to sell 90K, but then now we're hearing that Billboard charts might be delayed, and might be delayed because he's challenging for #1. Now, granted, I don't think this is gonna work, but here's the thing: this is mad political if it does, right? This is mad political. I'll tell you how political this is. So it says charts final, and it says a Republic thing, and that's all you need to know. Is that the top 3 spots? Well, actually, no. Sorry. The top 4 spots. 3 of them goes to Republic Records. And Savage is a epic artist. Now, because how these labels battle, and these labels are also like publicly traded somehow, or through like maybe a different parent company. They compete on who has bigger market share on the charts, but also who has the most #1s. So Republic or UMG wants Taylor to have a #1. Remember, Taylor was supposed to do like the midweek numbers for Taylor. Let's see if we can find that. I don't know if we can find it, but the midweek numbers for Taylor, is it there? Yeah, she was supposed to do 87. She was supposed to do 87, and Savage was supposed to do 53. But you know what ended up happening? Taylor's team, Republic, they're monitoring. They got to make sure she gets to #1. Remember, by the way, I told you, these are the albums that are going to compete. By the way, Mariah Carey came in at 45. So they're watching the shit. They see Savage's activity start increasing. Taylor's team, it's not, bro. Taylor went from 87 to 115. Come on now. This album been out for a while. But Republic is making sure Taylor gets that #1. The crazy thing about sales is that, yes, it is still somewhat an indicator of fan activity, but it's not as much as you think. A lot of it's politics. I told you, I've been on the phone with label owners, and I've heard them say, yo, this artist hasn't been listening. We dropping a project, we not doing nothing in terms of like, not necessarily bots, but like these are the things that would help inflate the sales, and be like, yo, we're going to let them fall flat on their face. They need to be humbled. Now, with me saying that, I hope this triggers a reminder to something else that we were talking about. Remember, like supposedly the main premise, which we all thought, which is not true, that Drake was suing UMG, be like, well, we all believe that it's a good lawsuit, that if your potential partner devalues you before they do a deal with you by putting out a specific song that disrespects you and calls you whatever, so now you have to charge a cheaper price to get in business, that is a unfair practice. But and I agree with you, and that's what we thought the lawsuit was going to be about. Except the defamation claim was like the biggest thing that they were trying to focus on, which ultimately got dismissed, but they're going to refile. Anyway, the point of what I'm saying is this. That is the music business. Anytime an artist is about to leave a label, that artist starts to flop. That artist flops. Why? The same thing we were saying that maybe UMG did with Drake gets done all the time. We're not going to spend $1 million in marketing, pull out all the strings, maybe buy some of the records, do the most to make sure you look good, and then you're going to take all of this, perceived hotness, and you're going to go bring it to another label. Fuck out of here. So you usually see once it's contract negotiation time, they usually try to get into it early, and if those artists don't sign, they're going to let that artist look unsuccessful because they're not going to spend no money. They're not pulling the strings for them. None of that is happening. So, yeah. We'll see. We will see, Chad. But 21 Savage is scheduled to do around 90, but now they're saying it might be over 100 and might be close to Taylor. And at that point, you can tell that's a label game. Taylor went up 30K. Huh? Midweek? Y'all are saying Savage went up 30K, which he did. Taylor went up 30K. Savage went from 50 to 90 in projections, and Taylor went from 87 to 115. Let's do the math on that. All good.